more about it. Two greats coming together, Deadpool and Wolverine. I got my Wolverine nails. How about yours?
Yeah, no, my hands. It looks like I spent a day at a dog shelter yesterday. It looks like I spent a day with Wolverine. It was well worth it. Absolutely loved that day. Absolutely love the notion of these two actors, these two characters who we love so much.
Yes.
I'm just terrified it's going to disappoint because it's been so much build up, dude. How are you feeling about Deadpool?
What's the build up? To put it this way, like, how long has it been? 24 years, I think, since Hugh Jackman took up the mantle of Wolverine.
You are
24
kidding,
years?
buddy.
I mean, you said that you've seen Deadpool 1 at least.
Yes,
so,
I have. And I've seen, he's part of X-Men.
But would you call yourself like someone who hunts down superhero movies, or does, if it's on your radar?
My brother's huge into it, and so he kind of like introduced me to it. So I wouldn't say that I would, you know, lose
Now with the red hair,
You know what?
it's gonna change, maybe.
It's a new girl, maybe.
Get that white streak. But now, the thing is that irrespective of the fact that you're not necessarily hunting these down, you do obviously appreciate what Hugh Jackman has done. We were talking about
Absolutely.
Like, especially if you've seen Logan in that journey with Wolverine, you kind of, wow, that bonded me to the character on a different level. Yeah.
But also Deadpool, I really just like his character, and so I'm drawn to it because
it's
of
a
that.
bit of a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Very unsuperhero-y.
Yes, exactly. I'm a hero. I'm here.
With a lot of R's in hero-y, more R-rated. So now, why this movie is, I suppose, special in weird terms, I suppose some people find it fascinating. You were just saying it is interesting, is that obviously we know by now that Disney bought Fox, which was Fox Studios before. Now it's such, I don't know, what are these names, whatever, I'm going to get in trouble
for a lot of money.
But it's Disney buying Fox.
Yeah.
And so the point being is that Fox obviously were the studio carrying Marvel that was telling the story of the X-Men. Disney was carrying the Marvel that was telling the story of the Avengers. So now they're trying to marry these two universes, of course.
This is their first child. This is their first baby.
Yeah, and are trying to thus form the bridge to, does Deadpool make it into the Avengers eventually, etc., etc.
I would love to see that.
Well, hey, if you're on foot, then maybe this is the movie for you. So the first thing that, and I'll get into the evaluation a bit later after we show you a little bit of a clip, but I think most people are going to be worried about, is it respecting the memory of Hugh Jackman or the memory of Logan? It sounds so dramatic to say, but he is such an important, such a stalwart to I think a lot of us growing up with superhero movies. I'm not even like a diehard myself, but for me, he is probably my most important.
And he's also carried, let's be honest, the X-Men genre on film. He's been the guy.
Yeah.
He's kept that going.
I mean, sure, we love Laser Eyes Boy. I don't even know the name.
I can't remember. But that's the thing, is I can't remember the characters who played a lot of the other characters.
Don't you dare guy in the wheelchair me. That is Sir Patrick Stewart.
He's telepathic, okay? So Professor X can hear you right now saying that, and it's a problem.
So yeah, I want to get into the meat and potatoes, obviously, of course, we'll have to slash those meat and potatoes. But first, we're going to look at a little taster. It's not necessarily a featurette. It's just a little spotty little appetizer of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is out tomorrow, and the people themselves are each being told. We haven't even mentioned Ryan Reynolds.
But that's maybe a good thing.
Let's hop to it. Here it is.
I've always wanted to ride with you, Logan. Deadpool and Wolverine. Can you imagine the fun? The chaos?
You mind putting your mask back on?
Super hard to eat while I'm wearing it.
It's super hard to eat when you're not.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about. Our entire world needs you. All right, finally aged.
Shut up.
Oh my God. Us? A team? The answer is yes. Shake on it. God, I nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife.
That looks epic.
I'm on board.
So you have no fears about, like, how do they bring back Wolverine?
I don't care, man. I don't care.
300 rand to go
Listen,
see that.
after I was taken into the Spider-Verse, I'm okay with anything. We just need new reality, another reality, we're okay.
And, geez, it can't be any more downhill than some of the multiverse movies. Because, like, is that idea tired by now? Like, so yeah, maybe this would be an upswing because for me, Doctor Strange wasn't so great. And this latest one. Anyway, so let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. I think the first thing that I can appreciate about it is that it has similar, I was saying now to our color engineer, the sort of respect for what it's doing, similar to Ant-Man. So when Ant-Man 1, it was unsure if people would accept how weird the characters are, and that is weird humor. By Ant-Man 2, it sort of gained a backbone to go, okay, we're allowed to be a bit weird.
Right.
And in the same way, Deadpool 2 was probably funnier for a lot of people than Deadpool 1 because it finds its feet. And now with Deadpool 3, which we'll talk about the question of Deadpool 3, whether you call it that in a second, it's got sort of that confidence now to say, you know, even if you don't know about superhero movies, you might say to your partner, hey, you want to see a comedy this weekend?
Yeah.
So you might think of it less of as a funny superhero movie and more as a confidently written comedy. Now, for my money, and it's not a lot, there are whole scenes that maybe run on for too long. Sometimes you can see actors and you can see, yes, you're very talented, yes, but you're over-riffing, you know, over speaks. Sometimes you just need to move along to the action. And so the balancing might be a bit off at times, and there are whole scenes where there's not just Ryan Reynolds, not just the Deadpool character, but there's another side character who, for me personally, just for my taste, just for my cup of tea, wasn't my sense of humor.
Okay.
But it might be for some other people. I don't think that he's necessarily lost. But when you put in those two large personalities against each other, those sort of that comedy dynamic, it's like, okay, now the scene is very densely.
There's enough of a polarity there to drive it forward for sure.
So yeah, can we cut back into the sort of like the action, back into the momentum of the thing? It doesn't necessarily lose direction for that reason. But so as far as the action, heck, how old is Hugh Jackman now? I think he's just over 50.
And he looks incredible.
Yeah, don't worry, his top comes off immediate.
I mean, that's what I'm paying the 300 grand for.
So, yeah, it does. I was worried myself, and it's a bit ridiculous, that was this character going to be done justice, especially after Logan was as brilliant as
It was phenomenal. Yeah.
then you have to go, dude, you're also in a Deadpool movie. It's not taking itself that seriously. JP, calm down. And even Hugh Jackman, what you have to understand about the dynamic of Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and the director Sean Levy. Previously, Sean Levy worked with Hugh Jackman. I don't know if you remember, there was the movie Real Steel.
Okay.
That he was directed under him there. And then Ryan Reynolds previously, there was that Free Guy movie.
Yeah,
So the
I
director
love Free Guy.
I've worked with both of them.
triumvirate on both. And they're very close with each other. And thus, Hugh Jackman, fortunately, and this has never been the case with Hugh Jackman, it's never that he's just dialing it in. Okay, I read the script. Can I please leave now? He's in. And the chemistry
Fully
is there.
invested, for sure.
Oh, sorry, Graham, go for it.
But you know what it is? When you look at the comic book series, every time a new artist or a new designer, a new creative takes on an old comic, you see new things represented.
Yeah.
You see Logan represented with a more sarcastic style, or represented with a more broken, Logan in-depth, emotional style. So it's okay for them to take the license.
I think weirdly, I'm probably even over panicking compared to even the die-hard comic book fans, because they know Deadpool better than me. They're like, no, dudes, if he walks all over the name of Wolverine, that's part of the gag. That's part of
what he is, man. Yeah.
That said, though, I think it is written with the respect for the. Here's what I don't like sometimes about some movies is that they'll rip off the very thing that you're doing. So, and Deadpool can do that at times. It's like, hey, isn't it so silly to wear a blue suit jacket on Espresso? And it's like, dude, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're doing the thing that you're trying to make,
There's self-effacing and then there's ridiculous.
And then,
Can I interject there? I did have a question that you touched on earlier around if this is the third Deadpool or not. Because the title alone, Deadpool and Wolverine, I mean, his name comes first. The stylistic of the poster, I mean, it looks very Deadpool.
It's short left, but it's
so the director himself, Sean Levy, said, please maybe try not to think of it as Deadpool 3, especially since, like I said, it literally feels like a legal document. It feels like this bridge between these two universes. Long story short of what I'm trying to say there is that aside from respecting the character of Wolverine, Wolverine is also given the time he deserves. And also the reason he deserves. Because, sorry, I haven't even told you what the story's about, because who cares? You're going to go watch this anyway.
Yeah.
Like, Deadpool basically is looking for purpose in this universe that he's in. He obviously faces the threat, however, because now he's like, okay, am I just a clown?
Right.
He faces the threat that his universe is now being ripped up by the multiverse that enters into it, and then he rips off the multiverse.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, you're doing the multiverse thing, you're doing the very thing you're up. But who cares? Whatever, that shape, he can up his own bum about silly stuff. And then all that said, fortunately, Wolverine's character is never just treated like an hors d'oeuvre. He's never just treated like a function of Deadpool's story. He's also got his own thing in the works.
Oh, lovely.
And he's got the yellow suit.
That balancing's good at least.
We love it.
But I think the strongest thing for me, like I said, is the fact that it's a comedy before it's just a funny superhero movie.
And look, the action looks epic as well, hey?
You want to know popcorn?
Yes.
JP's a grouch, you know. Of
course.
Fans will give it double. They're going to give it 12 out of 10. JP can only give it 6.
6?
Oh, so here's my other major thing. It's like, dude, you're bringing in this bright yellow-suited guy. The ending is a bit clunky. You needed to have, seriously, you need to drop a nuke on this.
A crescendo.
The bomb. because you're reintroducing someone so important, and it doesn't necessarily have that fireworks to be like, guys, we're rolling out the red carpet, the yellow carpet, everything, claws, nails, scratching out to eke out a movie that's deserving of this return.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's a lot to live up to.
And
It's a
different
lot
for different
coming
people.
together.
Some fans will be like, no, JP, you're wrong. And
Yeah, oh, no, I've no doubt. And all of the X-Men films kind of have that polarizing effect. Absolutely love it. Well, in that vein, JP, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll give it an extra 2. We'll make it 8. So JP 6 is our 8. But of course,